Hello everybody, Bob from Carquinez Club doing another layout planning video. Today's video is going to be on the MacClelland area behind our Sacramento yard. As you can see, I built the yard off layout, and I'm going to be focusing this video on the MacClelland service track and the industries that run along the track behind the rail yard. This industry was approved last year, and the West Sacramento on the other side of the aisle that you can see up in the corner there was approved at the last meeting, and my 2-3 industries on the corner were approved in November. So the layout is all ready to go, ready to be built from Davis all the way to Colfax. The mountains team is building the mountains right now, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So somehow in the math, we lost a foot of space. So in order to make the plastics plant and the food plant fit as into the space allowed, I'm going to turn the plastics plant 45 degrees and move the food processor closer to downtown Sacramento, and it'll look great. It'll serve as a really nice transition between the high density city. These medium density industries will segue into the low density MacClelland park space, and then we have a few large industries wrapping around the peninsula, and the leads of which are at the other end of this yard, and we'll have a better look at that at the very end of this video. Going around the corner, I'll be able to pump out 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more videos fairly quickly, because those areas are built and the yard leads to those industries are at the very end of the Sacramento yard, and I had to put them in off camera when I built the yard. So putting out 4 more videos should follow quickly along over the next 3 or 4 months. Next month we have our first open house for the year, in which case I'll get the cameras running, so the planning CMRS videos will be interspersed between new open house videos that will go into production next month. So you can probably expect to see another video, at least one of these new videos every 2 or 3 weeks, interspersed between open house videos starting in a month. Right now, the 2 yard leads off to the right are where we're going to put a hardware supply warehouse. Has 1 storage track. The industry is the Walters kit, where the 1 track is going to go underneath the building, and we don't have a building for that in this, so it'll be approximated as best I can using a building that's fairly similar and approximate in size, and it'll look pretty good in the end. Right there is what we're looking at as far as our Sacramento. So you see, by moving that abandoned track, that scenery track right there, a little bit close to the yard, it'll tell its own story, and it'll make some sense. And move the trucks around, put in a fence, which means that some of the industry here will be off layout, and it'll look fine when everything's said and done. So I will go back at the very end when everything's built and redo these industries close to the as-built drawing to the extent that I can in Trainz Model Railroad, and it will look just fine. So moving the transloading over to its single siding over here, and then moving the ramen house plastics plant building on a 45, relocating the tanks, and it'll make really nice composition, nice in transition. So So this building was as closest that I could find in the inventory to the building that's going to be used. You'll see that the switch leads into the feeder track there, and then there's going to be two small industries side by side. I forget what exactly was approved, but there are two industries side by side with one or two car rail car loading. And then in the buffer, they're going to put a fast food restaurant and a gas station along a road that runs the whole distance. It's MacClelland. The plastics plant is not a MacClelland industry, so we're going to kind of do a visual break here with a fence. And I don't know, there'll be some other transition in there once we get it built. But MacClelland Airport used to be a former military base, has large runway and rail service that you can see by driving down Longridge Road, Roseville Boulevard, and it runs right along that track. They've just completed two large manufacturing buildings over there right off the street that you can see from the road. Fairly impressive. So don't know what Mark has planned for the transition scenery along the backdrops, so I'm going to freelance it and then I'll go back and revise it once he gets his backdrop buildings in place, and we'll go from there. So, repeating, the MacClelland Air Force Base is now an industrial park that has an airport with it, and all the hangars have industries that have moved into them, and so want to try to make this space sort of look like a former Air Force base with large warehouses. This last industry, not sure what it is, going to have its own siding with a storage track. Given the space, I thought a buffer industry would look pretty nice between pretty nice as a transition between that last industry there and what's going to be the paper plant. The paper plant's already in place. It's under construction. It's mostly done. There's some scenic details that need to be put in place, but putting a couple extra buildings in there that are non-railroad served in the transitional kind of make a nice visual transition from the low-density MacClelland space into the individual dioramas wrapping around the end of the industry that you might have seen in the open house videos at the very end of the peninsula. It's a paper plant is a large orange building. I know off the top of my head that I've done some videos standing in front of it and having the camera shooting down the rail yard at the end of the peninsula, and I know that the cement plant is kind of an iconic modeling structure that really presents well at the end of the island there. And then right around the corner, in other videos, you might have seen the Rockland Quarry, and all the yard leads for that are at the very end of the Sacramento yard, and you can see them down there at the very top of the screen that they're in place. So I'll be able to crank out a few videos here fairly quickly on those 3 or 4 industries that I mentioned before. Okay, so turned the camera off and did a little bit more off-camera work, put some suitable rail cars in the sidings and in the yard to give you a sense of what the completed project would look like if I were king of the club. Again, we'll go back and revise all these industries to the as-built as as close to the as-built as I can do in Trainz Model Railroad, given whatever the creative eye of the builders ultimately end up putting in the space there in MacClelland. And it looks like I can put another video in the can. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it with a friend, let me know what you would like to see, if there's more information as I can get. I'm still learning how to use all of this software and give you a product that you will come back to and share with friends. Obviously the herky-jerkiness must be my just handling of the camera, because that is just how I roll, I suppose. In any event, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video from beginning to end. And like I say, if you know anybody that might appreciate what we're doing out here at the club, feel free to share it. Anything a little bit helps. YouTube has changed its monetization, so we are no longer getting money from these videos until I can get up to 1,000 subs. So if you would, please subscribe. Tell a friend, ask them to subscribe so that we can get monetization back and get the cash flow flowing in order to help build the layout and stabilize the building that we currently own. Or if you would, just donate. You know, there's about $1 million worth of work that we need to do in order to our physical plant, and we're not going away. So thank you again for your time and consideration. Whatever you can do helps. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.